Welcome back to Deltarune, the frost bites. Things are not getting better. Things have gotten much worse. Let's take a look and see what we have. Chapter 8. Proceed. Meanwhile, Susie and Rouse were enjoying their cotton candy. They heard crying in the distance. Susie looks over to see who's crying. She sees Chris and Noelle at the other side. Noelle is crying as she knows what's going to happen to her friend. Noelle, are you okay? You're crying. Do you need help? Don't worry, Chris is right here with you. Right, Chris? Susie told her. Proceed, Chris said. What? Susie asked. Proceed! Chris screamed. He then attacked Susie all of a sudden. Oh, you're going to do that route again, huh? Well, guess what? I will dry Noelle's tears as I take you out, Noelle said. Rossi didn't know what was going on. His friends were fighting. Chris and Susie wrestled each other, with poor Noelle watching. Chris managed to get Susie on the ground as to restrain her. Susie bites Chris' hand. He screams in pain as she continues to gnaw on his hand. He punches her to get his hand out. He gets his hand out of her mouth. His hand was very bloody, and his pinky finger is nothing but bones. At the end of his robe, Chris tells Noelle to do Snowgrave. Noelle tries to refuse, but he won't let her. Bridley shouts from the other side, No, Noelle, don't do it! It was too late. Noelle casted Snowgrave on Susie. The entire area got cold, and the next second, Susie is now frozen solid. Chris grinned in satisfaction. Noelle plummets to the ground, very tired. Rouse fainted. Chapter 9. What have I done? After getting up from her spell, she sees Susie's ice block. She was completely dead in an ice block. She sees Rouse passed out on the ground. Then Noelle started crying as she tries to break the ice block. Desperate, she did everything she could to melt the ice. But it's no use. Noelle begged for Susie to speak to her, but she couldn't speak. We were going to be best friends forever. This isn't fair. Why would Chris do this to us? Noelle wailed. That's when Noelle couldn't take it anymore. She ran across the road. A car hits her. Hard. Noelle fell unconscious. Bridley watched the whole thing and cried too. He went to pick up her body. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I didn't mean for this to happen, Bridley said tearfully. He dodges an incoming car. The car runs over Noelle's body, damaging her even more. Bridley starts to grieve for both girls' death. Come on, Bridley. Let's seal the fountain, Chris said, calmly. Bridley looks at his bloodied hand. He knows he must listen to Chris. He follows Chris to the fountain in shame. In the meantime, Noelle turned to dust and her soul shattered. Noelle is now dead. And see, this is why you do not take Snowgrave route. Because of how awful it is and how terrifying it is. And let's just hope that this doesn't ruin Christmas break for all of us, because this is just made up. This is not a real story. I just made this up, but one day it'll become a real AU. The story is not over yet, so stay tuned. Subscribe if you don't want to miss it.